And here we are. Welcome back to the NUALA show. It's still Sunday. It's still occluded. It's just kind of rainy, cloudy out there. Doing another video because the video I did this morning is still uploading to YouTube. So I'm like, I'll cut another video here. Maybe it'll be here by next week, right? It's crazy. Like a 20-minute video that's taking it like several hours. It says it's 95% done. Anyway, once again, your host, NUALA. People sometimes get confused about pronouncing my name because of the U, but it's a Gaelic name, an Irish name. It's a diminutive. It's like a nickname or diminutive of Fionnuala. Fionnuala, the original Fionnuala, was one of the daughters of King Lear in legend. So NUALA is a nickname for that. Other nicknames for Fionnuala and NUALA are Una. You might not make the connection, but Una is related to those. And there are, I guess, some cultures that use the name, even though it's not, for them it's not derived from the Celtic, and they pronounce it NUALA, which I get all the time from people who don't know it's Irish. I get a lot of NUALA, but it's NUALA, NUALA. And my middle name is it's Catalan or French. It's Anaïs. And you can tell that it's Anaïs by the two dots over the I, which I'm not sure if this is a separate French term for it. In German we call the two dots an umlaut, but that gives it the Anaïs pronunciation. There's also the same name with an accent mark. I think it's a right-facing accent mark over the I, and that's pronounced Ane. My middle name is Anaïs. Anyway, so NUALA, Anaïs. And we're still in the lovely office here, which is rather Spartan, as is befitting a server room. We had a little small area when I worked for this little IT place as a network engineer a few years back, and it was all servers, and you couldn't hear yourself think in there, never mind hear anyone in the office talking to you. And one of the engineers was kind of hard of hearing to begin with, so we used to call it the cone of silence, which is a reference to the old Get Smart with Maxwell Smart Spice Book comedy back in the 60s. I'm going to keep this video to 10 minutes. I think I'm going to do, because the 10-minute ones seem to upload okay, whereas the 20-minute ones seem to take forever. So I could do like 2 10-minute, and it would be better. By now, you've either tuned out, said she's absolutely batshit crazy, right? Or you tuned in and said, wow, she's hot. Yeah, anyway. Right. You know, I'm joking with you. Obviously, I'm 60 and I'm not exactly svelte. It is what it is, baby. Deal. Anyway, I still haven't done anything concrete here because I'm kind of waiting to see how the videos come out. Kind of listen to them, see how the lighting is, see what I think. Showing a few friends. And if I get positive feedback, then we'll do some serious, we'll have some serious conversations. Other things I've looked into is doing a web comic. I'm writing some books. Been doing that forever. It's one of these days I'll get one of them done at least. The videos here, I was doing videos on Facebook, for friends. Doing the videos here on YouTube. I have one of those, one or two of those web TV channels, which I haven't done anything with yet. But I was thinking of doing like a live show, a talk show, something like that. We'll see how things go. If this happens to pan out, if people like this format, maybe we'll expand it. And I get some kind of like a talk radio, blog radio. Again, something like to do like a talk show, call-in show, something. We'll see. We're perusing Facebook. Mainly keeping in touch with friends, groups I belong to. Finding stuff for the groups. I run a cooking group, NUALA's Kitchen, which is like get global reach. I pull in a lot of recipes from different countries, different people. Throw in some of my own. And, for good measure. I have NUALA's Curiosities and Mechanical Contraptions, which is anything electromechanical. It can be steampunk, it can be current, it can be modern technology, antique, sci-fi, steampunk. I think I said steampunk. Anything like that. And it can be anything from horseless carriage to antique cars to ships, boats, planes, devices, radio, electronics. I think I did a segment on Ringer washing machines. So we've done like stationary engines. And the members contribute a lot of things. One member contributed a big thing about his diesel truck, which is a fascinating project we're following. Others have presented some really unusual vehicles and other mechanical finds. We're in the Sisterhood, which is a group of trans women who meet for support and community, which is a fantastic group of people. Hi to my sisters out there. I facilitate. I don't consider myself like, it's not like my group. I don't like own it, run it. Like, I facilitate. Keep the momentum, keep the peace. Spur conversation, that sort of thing. Participate. But it's an equal voice. I'm very egalitarian, as you'll find. My management style is very 21st century, what you'd call a team management concept, as opposed to the old 19th century hierarchical management. I'm very team-oriented. Part of that comes from working in the medical/psychiatric field for a time, where you have meetings of all the disciplines and everyone has an equal voice. Well, the head psychiatrists kind of see themselves as the top rung of the ladder, but the technical aspect of these group meetings is that everyone, right down to the techs and the interns, have a voice in talking about the running of the unit and so forth. So you'll find I'm quite egalitarian and oftentimes eclectic, which we're still dealing with this cold. Eclectic means you take from many areas the better aspects, pull them together into a functional entity. I'm spiritual eclectic. I gather from a variety of traditions without being locked into one tradition. Spiritually, musically eclectic. Basically anything from plain chant and polyphony to cutting edge college radio and all the genres in between. Country, western, Tuvan, throat singing, blues, jazz, Cajun, like Afro-Celt, goth, just about anything. It's music. And even if it's not like my favorite genre per se, I can see the intersectionality with other aspects of music and how its layers built upon each other, how people gather from other forms of music to create new music, or new forms of old music. So eclectic in a lot of ways. What's my background? Where I'm over the 10 minutes. We'll go for 15. How's that? I'm easy. Don't take that the wrong way. Eclectic. Yeah. Anyway. In a lot of things. Oh, my background. Okay. Degrees in criminal justice, degrees in human services, degrees in human services administration, minor in art, master's work in criminal psychopathology, and expressive art therapies. Yeah, it's a hodgepodge. It's been interesting. It's actually served well in a number of careers. I've worked in public safety and corrections, psychiatric centers, yeah, the brain is not working right today. Anyway, well, alcohol rehab. Primarily alcohol rehab, rehab facilities. I've worked as network engineer. I've worked as a sharecropper on a farm. So, I worked as a mechanic. I drove a wrecker. Worked on a military base. That was interesting. Worked in offices. Dug ditches. Pick and shovel. Never was ashamed. The money was clean. It was an honest day's work. And so forth. Always believed in having a trade and a profession. That way, you're not you don't forget where you came from, and you didn't not use your head. And you always have one or the other to fall back on. If the profession is in a slump, you have a trade to fall back on. If the trade area is in a slump, you have the profession to fall back on. And if both of them are in a slump, you're a well-rounded individual and you can converse in a number of areas and find new direction. And we're coming right up to the 15-minute mark. We're going to call it at that. Again, I've said basically nothing, but we'll see how the videos go over, and then we'll get into some nitty and gritty. Toodles for now. Ciao, baby.